throughout the month of January, I have been building a different roller coaster every single day. And you know, I've tried to make these last 30 coasters as fun or as weird or even as realistic as possible. We've had recreations, family coasters, whatever the hell this one is, and even some truly insane ones that could very much be real one day if I become a roller coaster designer, and that's probably not going to happen. And all of these coasters have been placed in a park that looks very much like an advent calendar right here. And if you haven't actually seen any of these, or you've missed a few, then go and check out the playlist in the top right to watch them all. They're short, so it won't take you long. But obviously these are built every single day of January, and today is the final day of the month. That means, of course, that this series ends after today. So it's gone away. Much like this background will be next video. But we have one more plot of land, and it's not a usual sized plot compared to the rest. It is this one massive long straight, so we have a lot we can work with, and knowing me, it's still probably going to go awfully, so I'm excited for this. So if you do go on to enjoy this video and you enjoyed this daily short series, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So we're on to day 31, and as you can see here in front of me, here is the park. I've got it in live time. We're not in the past now or in the future, we're in the present. But you can get a really lovely overview of all the different rides. We've got the Ride to Happiness, which was the last one yesterday, and multiple people did point out that this banana roll goes the wrong way, so it's not that good of a recreation anymore. We've got a 20 inversion coaster. Wicker Wallace has made an appearance, something like Hyperia. You got Rita, oh god, that was the worst day. You got some weird SNS thing, a wooden coaster down here, spinning coaster, oh, that goes awfully slow up there. An RMC, a dive coaster, you've got a Mac Mega, and of course, the first day of them all, I built that monstrosity right there. I mean, if we do a POV, as you can see, the supports are a mess, but the smoothness, it's alright, but it's not amazing. Whereas, obviously, if you go a bit later on into the series, you can see right here, like with this coaster, the Vekoma launch, you know what? It's quite a bit smoother, especially that roll. Whoa, look at that. That's a good inversion. And then if you go right to the end with yesterday's, you've got the Ride to Happiness, which is a lot smoother than what we started with. And with me having 30 days, I wanted to try different coaster types each day. And I know a lot of you guys were suggesting some, and I did end up doing quite a few, but there was also quite a few I didn't. But there was one that a lot of people have suggested, and I even thought to myself, I want to do this at some point. And that is an intamin multi-launch coaster, much like Taron at Phantasialand or Tiger at Linnanmakki. Or if you're in the UK, we don't have one. But you can make a really good layout with that coaster type. So I thought it'd be best to do it with the biggest plot. And as I actually build this, what I want to do is sort of incorporate a load of different elements from the previous 30 coasters. I think that would be cool. You know, bit of relevance to everything else. So what colour are we severely missing from this skyline? We've got the yellows, we've got some greens, we've got a load of reds and blues. We might give it an orange track and a pink train. And there we go, look at the colour scheme. It's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be, to be honest. I'm not gouging my eyes out yet. And how do we want to start this coaster now? Of course, we can just go straight into a lift hill or a launch like a lot of these coasters do. Or we can do what yesterday's coaster did, and also, I think the 20 inversion coaster does it as well. We could go into a barrel roll straight out of the station. And one thing I'm not really supposed to do is go out of the boundaries, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I will sort this illegalness out. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty solid. And then you go into a little outer bank airtime hill, but it's tiny. Perfect, we'll take that. And now we are going to head into a launch, which I think if we're ticking off certain things from different rides in this park, that ticks off about 90% of them that I've built. Right, so we're going to make it go into, I think, some sort of wave turn to start off with, like over here on one of my favourite coasters. You see that thing there? Beautiful. And then something I want to do after this as well is that dive drop thing that I used on the Vekoma launch that I showed you, because I love that element. Okay, so we go up here into this turn. Lovely, that's a good speed. Bank round down and then should be fine here. Oh, that needs more banking. That'd just be like this in your seat. And then I think to make us go back the way we're supposed to be going, which is down this way, because if I keep just going over on myself here, we'll never get there. I'm going to use this Immelman on the dive coaster. And then after this Immelman, I want to flatten out into a helix and then sort of go down into the rest of the layout from there. Although I have just reached a dilemma, this tree is in the way. Can I remove this? Never mind, scratch the helix, we're going back to square one. And by square one, I don't mean I'm going to delete the whole coaster and start again just because of a tree. That's not happening. See, the thing is, we have so much speed still, and I know we're only about 75 feet in the air with these elements, but it's going to take a little while for it to fizzle out in speed. So I think I'm going to do something very similar to this coaster here, or Rita. And there we go, that is a little bit similar to Rita. It's probably not the same shape, but it works. So now that element's in, it definitely doesn't look like a rip-off of something on Hyperia. And I was thinking of doing an airtime hill launch to be sort of even more punchy. You come down from that very cool element into punchy launch. So here we go, it's coming up into that bit, Outer Banks. Quite slow as well, I like that. And then it barrel rolls down and it's going to go into that launch. Perfect speed there. What now? I think the only realistic option is probably a top hat. Obviously it needs some smoothing, but that's pretty good. And now I think I'm going to take this Outer Bank airtime hill on, what day is this? 28. This one here, because this one is mental. I love that Outer Bank. And this right here, I'm going to do my own element of a massive airtime hill, and I might do a little bit of a double down on the way down as well. From this point, I might just do whatever I want to do, not copying off an old coaster or anything, just, you know, going with my wit right now. Because in all honesty, that's been a really fun part of this series, you know. I always make these recreations or challenge myself to do stupid things. But I had quite a few comments asking for me to do a series or just a video where I do my own thing and make a coaster in general. And here I am doing just that. And I have done this whole series. It's been beautiful. Time to make a lot of quick fire progress. So, to this coaster, I have introduced another airtime hill right there, an outer banked airtime hill. Oh, that's quite slow. And a dive loop right there. Quite simple elements, but they seem to feature on quite a few of the coasters I have dotted around, so it makes do. So after this kicker launch, what can we do now? I was thinking stupidly, let's make 31 out of track. Let's get it all one drop down. No, that wouldn't work. So as much as that would have been very cool, we're just going to go with a lovely tall airtime hill, I think. And then after that airtime hill, there was a really cool element I did on one of the hyper coasters in this, and it sort of dived down into the brake run. So I'm going to do that. But there we go, after building that, this entire plot of land is complete. This series has been a lot of fun. I'd love to do something like this again, but no idea what I'd do. And if you want to actually explore this park for yourself, then feel free to download it in the link below. But in the meantime, enjoy this POV for the final day of this challenge. Goodbye.